Okay, greetings people, how are you? Don Bernard here once again, and just wanted to share a little bit of my experience at the Abraham Hicks Seminar this weekend. It was really excellent. It was my first time actually seeing Abraham Hicks in person. Went to Stamford, Connecticut at the Marriott, stayed overnight with a good friend of mine, and just the energy was very magical, quite similar to what I feel from their recordings on YouTube, as their energy comes through extremely strongly right there. But to be in person and to sit just a few feet away from Esther as she channels the energy, or whatever you want to call it, brings forth the source energy of Abraham, was quite miraculous and ecstatic in how it felt, but also in the message as well. And a big part of the message that I was left with was being at peace with where you are. That was a lot of what they talked about, the theme of what they talked about, being at peace with where you are. And they utilized a really beautiful analogy to create this in the minds of the people. And what they said was that, you know, a lot of times you look at different parts of your life and you can say, no, not that, not this ingredient, not the baking soda, not the this, not the that. But all of these different parts of your life create the applesauce pie, they said. The applesauce pie, the bigger picture of what you're seeking to create. But the fact of the matter is, we like to separate them and say, you know, we look at one aspect of our lives and say, no, we don't need this or we don't need that. And when I think about my own life, there are many times I know I have felt that, where because I felt maybe tense or stressed out, I didn't look at that as actually still adding to the pie that I'm creating. And knowing that now, in a much deeper way, through hearing that, through their expression and energy of it, it was just a really beautiful moment for me, because then it allows you to be that much more softer with yourself, that much more accepting of yourself, and being that much more softer and accepting of yourself and where you are, you're not only that much more loving to who you are, but to everyone else. It's kind of automatic, because you see everyone else's path being parallel to yours in the oneness of all things. So you're a lot less likely to judge, and that is actually a good indicator for us to know how loving we are of self, is to see how much we are judging others. Because every time we judge someone else, we're actually judging ourselves. Whenever we're within our connection of higher self, we don't do that. We're in a completely loving state of being. And so there were other things that they talked about, but I wanted to just share that little tidbit, that great analogy of wanting the applesauce pie now, but the journey of life is gathering those ingredients. And really the ultimate manifestation, as they said, is the journey. Like they say, the joy is in the journey, but the journey of that joy that you feel, which you can feel at any time. You know, the bigger picture is almost the icing on the cake, the manifestation of. But before the manifestation, before you get the icing, you get the cake. And what is the cake? The cake is that joy, that peace that you could feel at any millisecond at a time. And learning how to extend that peace and milk it a little more, which is a word that Abraham likes to utilize. So that's my little tidbit. Like I said, the energy was amazing. The people were amazing. There was somebody there from Baba's camp who watches my videos and always shares great love with me, so I appreciated seeing him there. And yes, I wish all well. Peace to you. Enjoy the fall if you're here on the Eastern Standard region of things. God bless.